Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Kouzel and I'm the Oboe professor at Illinois State University. In this video, I'm going to be going over the ILMEA All-State Etude. This is from the Ferling book, number 28. I first want to think about some objectives that us judges are going to be considering while we're hearing these auditions. First and foremost, are you getting all the right notes? Are you not skipping over those A flats? This etude has a lot of accidentals. Are you getting all the accidentals? Watching the key signature, etc. 2, are you playing the right rhythms? 3, are you in tune? And 4, are you playing what's written on the page? So are you playing those accents or are you playing those dynamics? I want to talk about how to practice getting the right notes and the right rhythms. First and foremost, when you go about practicing a technical etude like this, you always want to start at a very slow, comfortable tempo. So for me, if I like to play this etude, if my goal tempo is around 106, by the way, for Ferling Etudes and the faster ones, I always think the suggested markings are way too fast, almost across the board in this book. So they suggest 126. I think it's fine to play it around 106 to maybe 112. That's what I like. But you should always play at the tempo that is most comfortable for you, that helps you achieve those objective measures. So when I'm combing through the piece and making sure that I'm getting the right notes and the right rhythms, I'm gonna maybe start at 76. It's really giving me a chance to hone in on those important details. I might also want to trick myself in a way and play these with different rhythms to ensure that I'm also getting the right notes. And also by playing things a little harder, I said trick myself, when you take it back into context, it actually will feel easier. So at a slower tempo, this is again 76, I might try a swing rhythm. And then I'll flip that. This one's even harder. And then when I go back to as written, it just tricked my brain and it feels a whole lot easier. Now when it comes to increasing the tempo, because the way you get better is with a metronome at a slower tempo and you increase it incrementally, I like to stick to no more than 4. So I'm at 76 right now, and if I play it through, I get all the right notes and all the rhythms are good, as written, and with those flipped rhythms, with that swing and the opposite, then I'll increase it by 4. And that's a way of honing in on your technique and honing in on making sure that you're playing the right notes and that you're getting the right rhythms. Let's talk a little bit about intonation for a second. There are a couple problematic spots for me, for anybody, in this piece, and it mostly has to do with these large jumps. So I'm mostly looking at, measure 18, we have a very big leap from low G to high E flat. Measure 19, we have the same. Even in measure 7, B to D. All of those intervals, and especially playing in the high range of the oboe, could pose some problems. I would recommend practicing this out of time, always with the tuner. We always practice with the metronome and always with the tuner. And gauging where those high notes, where those intervals might be, so that when we put it into context, we can accommodate for those. So I'm just gonna start in measure, that's 15. I think I said 18 at first, but I can't read my handwriting. In measure 15, G to high E flat, with a tuner out of time. So my E flat not only was a little out of tune, but it also didn't want to speak. So I learned in that moment out of time that I also need to prepare my air well enough to be able to play that leap. thinking about increasing my airspeed, maybe raising my eyebrows, voicing upwards to get that high E flat, slurred, which is quite difficult on the oboe. But then also making sure that the G and E flats are in tune. Another issue is measure 19. This is the fourth beat. So already those notes are kind of all over the place. So I would spend a little bit more time trying to get those right in tune out of time. And maybe with your pencil, you could write, okay, if your E flat is consistently coming out sharp, it probably will when you're playing it at tempo in context. So maybe put a downward arrow, etc. So play those high notes and those awkward intervals slowly with the tuner to gauge where they might be, because if they're out of tune, they will stick out. And I want to conclude this video with just a couple musical suggestions, because I like to think of this piece as wanting to make someone come out of their seats, because it's extremely energetic and kind of tense sometimes. And I don't think there are actually enough dynamics written in here. So to give you an idea of something that I think would be nice in musical that's not written in, we have measure 4. I think you can have a little bit of a retard going into measure 5. And again, I have the word smooth written over this measure as well. So I start subito piano coming from measure 3. Back to piano. And then, so it's about, most of this piece is usually about hairpins for 2 measures. So crescendo, decrescendo, and it's about 2 measure phrases. Now we're in measure 7. And then we crescendo into that cadence. I like to start measure 9, subito piano again. And then we're 2-bar phrases, or yep, 2-bar crescendo. If we start measure 9 piano, let's start measure 11 mezzo piano. So slightly louder, but we're still hairpinning. And this time we have a larger or a longer crescendo and decrescendo. I like to crescendo through measure 13, through measure 14, to the G E flat leap in measure 15, and then I like to do a small decrescendo right before that fermata. Here's measure 13 to the fermata. Again, I'm playing this a little slowly just to really hone in on these dynamics. And then how long do we do the fermata there? It's about for you to take 1 breath, to just ground yourself again to the end. We're going to start piano again in measure 17. Again, that's that 2-bar hairpin. I like to phrase to those high E flats and the Fs. I think that's also the largest climax of this piece as well. And then we start soft again and we ramp it up to the end. And we can finish that low C nice nice and strong. And I also think it could be really lovely to have a slight retard on those last E flat, D, E flat, then take a little bit of a break. C. I'll play that one more time for you. And the reason for that is because we've had a lot of cadences already happen within this piece. So again, it's suspenseful. It's making people want to come out of their seats. Where are we going? When is this going to finish? And I think that would be a really great musical decision to kind of let the listener know this is the end of the etude. Well, there you have it. I hope you have fun practicing this piece, and good luck with your auditions, and I hope you could learn something from this.